enough? Can we make this bigger? Full screen maybe? I don't know. Still learning OBS. Hopefully you can see it on the full screen. Although I wouldn't be so sure, so let's... Oh, come on. Oh, come on, you were fine a second ago. Full screen, but not projector as far as saying. Well, there's that, but that still doesn't help that part. Still just part of a screen. Okay, how do we fix this? What the heck is... Oh, that's the chat window. I don't want the chat window. At least not right there. That's cool. Don't show it again, please. Make the step in the right direction. Oh, we get two screens again. That's cool. A step up. Turn this one this way. Maybe. Possibly. All right. Well, I'm going to go with it for now. I haven't had the two screens in a while. It's a pair of FLUMPHs. I'm gonna do a quick and dirty paint on them, I guess, since it's almost 11 p.m. and as far as I know, I actually work tomorrow, so probably voluntary time off opportunity has not presented itself. Comes with a couple of small bases. The newer stuff tends to come with clear. Couple of flumpy FLUMPHs. Off to the side for right now, so I have somewhere to put them. I got the D&D dice prison. I think it was about 13 bucks. Comes with a D20, but at least the D20 I got does not have any. Oh no, the box art's the same. It doesn't really have ink. It's blackened. It's like black on translucent green. Not very readable. So I'm going to be putting folk art from Plaid Treasure Gold on there like I did with the last set I inked. Now I'm going to go with Scarlet, I think, for the D&D logo on top. It comes with a little plastic tab on the bottom. I've already removed that, but for keeping the battery from going off in the box, turning on the switch, but it glows. So when you need to put your dice in prison, you can highlight them for their misdeeds. If I were making one from scratch, I'd probably make the bottom thicker and put the light from the bottom, so instead of spotlighting it from the top, be illuminating it from the bottom. But that's just my tweak to this existing design. I might even add some metallic color to the bars to make this truly mine. It does have a nice little texture on there. And it swings all the way open. And it's textured on the inside as well. It comes with a cute little book. Guide to Mini Dice Dungeon, which I'll read some excerpts from while the FLUMPH are drying at some point. Can use the colors we used last night for the Thunder Hob, at least some of the colors we used. Thunder Hob. Alrighty. Thunder Hob. So somewhere in the where did I think? Okay, it's these two. The gray green, the pale gray blue, possibly Luftwaffe uniform World War II, as well as blue green and pale blue. And since I only have two FLUMPH, I'm just going to go with one of them is masculine and one of them is feminine. And while it may not be a choice per se, it's a choice on how they choose to express themselves. So I'm going to have the tentacles in our American current boys are blue, girls are pink shading, just for simplicity's sake. But semi-canonically we can go with, once they decide upon their gender expression, they can manifest. So not quite like a cuttlefish, but kind of in those, kind of in that realm. Alright, so it's not a large miniature. I'm going to dry fit with this one first. This 5 round from Royal and Langnickel with their slightly thicker handles. And dry test it. Yeah. Okay. We can get on there. Can we pop the... No, these seem to be thoroughly on there. Sometimes the clear pieces, the translucent or transparent pieces, are not attached. I don't know if it's a glue thing or an oversight, but sometimes they're not attached and sometimes they are. If the ivory is not cached, I think I want to highlight up to ivory the box art for how it goes. The way it looks on there with the lighting, it looks like my left looks like it's being beamed up. Shaky. Got Mountain Dew instead of water. Pale gray blue 70.907. Keep a little stringy there. Pop this bubble. Where's my... I don't know. I'm less worried about putting this kind of brush in my mouth, but the ones with paint on them, depending on where they're made, you might not want to put in your mouth because they might have carcinogenic paints. I mean, China doesn't have those regulations, and at least as of 2007, we were still getting toys imported that had either lead or cadmium paints. So your mouth parts and their sensitivity or additional propensity for cancers, being epithelial cells and all that, you might not want to put something that's not supposed to be in the mouth, because it's probably not copacetic. But hey, let's not have regulations, because that would be oppressing freedom or something. But then, you know, we'd still have asbestos and lead and all that fun stuff. But this generation's just weaker, right? Yeah, because we're the ones that are aiming those mesothelioma ads at for working in extreme conditions. I'm listening to Creaky Blinder, all the intelligent design factor fiction from about 8 hours ago. Fear. The boogeyman's coming. I'm loving your casual layout with the chair. Did you have the plant there last time? Yeah, Creaky's added a little bit more casual of a setup for himself for some of these reviews. Butt time. Those are just your facts, Creaky. I almost got freaky. Those are your facts. You can't handle the facts. Show me the God facts. I do not believe your claims of a supernatural cause. I mean, there might be something supernatural, but until we can actually prove it, and if we can prove it, then that would mean it's not supernatural per se, so much as actually natural laws that we did not understand. Can we get some more light over here? Absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence, or vice versa. It'll blow your mind. Oop. Little clumpy on the tentacles there. Oh, okay, that's why, because there's actually space between those, and it just was kind of surface tensioned, making a bubble there. Checkmate, AT boys. Ooh, did Sick put out a new video? I'm gonna go check out Ember's channel. Wasn't sure they had one until they referenced, or until I referenced something and they referenced my reference. The Greg Kokel video that I believe it's Apologia, Sir Sick, and maybe Creaky or Prophet Azad covered. And Ember's like, well, there's mine. I don't know about all the rest of them. Okay, I'll check yours out later. And that was probably a couple hours ago. Lean this one against there and grab the other set of forceps. I think I saw on Amazon that you can get a whole bunch of forceps in a pack for cheap. I got these on clearance at Radio Shack before we went out of business. Oops, I didn't hear that part. These skull candies are dying. Maybe I can get a Raycon sponsorship. Scoopa. Got an itch on my shin, like ankle shin area. We kind of have to teach a little bit of semi-both, or, well, one and one other. So not intelligent design and versus evolution, but natural selection versus artificial selection, because apples don't necessarily interbreed with the same kind of apples. So if Johnny Appleseed or someone like that had gone around planting a bunch of crab apples for horses to munch on, and then they cross-pollinated with, or were grafted into other breeds of apple, that's how we got our Red Delicious and Granny Smith and Macintosh and Fuji, or is it PG? And Yellow Delicious and all of those other varietals. Although I think that's only for grapes that we get to say varietals. Or at least only wine grapes, maybe? Damn it, Jim. I'm not a botanist. I don't know what I am that's not a botanist, but I'm not a botanist. At the moment, I'm just a YouTuber. With, last I checked, 16 or 17 subs. Thank you all. Thank you kindly. I think 2 of those are myself. And myself subscribe on the actual channel and self-subscribe on another channel so that I can view in real time, see if it's working. I just have to assume it is though, because I'm going off of phone Wi-Fi, and using hotspot doesn't necessarily work the best. It's only got so much love to go around, especially since I'm not on 5G quite yet. This phone couldn't handle it. This is the Moto G6, I want to say. Upgraded from, I think, the 4 to the 6, or the 6 to the 7. I think I had 2 of the 6s, and this might be the 7. Actually, it's the Moto Stylus. I don't think it gets a number. Like the Moto Stylus 21 or 20, something along those lines. Looks like I got a little bit of paint on the translucent. I'm gonna try to get that off of there before it dries. Acrylic can be forgiving sometimes. Because it's translucent, I really don't want to have to try to scratch it off later. That's not a good idea. Have I missed any spots? Probably, but nope, definitely. Just tentacle. As far as mold lines, for anyone who cares, there's definitely some all along the tentacles, and you might want to smooth out the mushroom cap part of them. Speaking of which, what are the origins of the FLUMPH? There we go. There we go. Tell me about the FLUMPH, and I hope the camera and stuff are still working. Find out in a minute, right? I guess I'll wait for that to load. Should have had it pulled up on the... wait. Come on. Are you loading or not? I'm not sure why I'm not sure why the Forgotten Realms wiki is like entirely in the past tense. Something, like in this case, FLUMPHs were, or something was. Nope, it appears to be loading. Just now realized I haven't picked which one, or they haven't spoken to me on which one wants to present masculine, which one wants to present as feminine. I didn't want to make them both blue, that way it's a little bit easier to identify on the table anyway. Eventually I need to get a Lego minifig pirate hat. Get the whole minifig if possible. Oh, not cheap. This is a good article. FLUMPHs were mysterious and benevolent creatures that drifted through the Underdark. ForgottenRealms.fandom.com/wiki/FLUMPH. This FLUMPH sat alone in a boggy marsh. At least in this case it's sat alone in the Underdark. At least it's better than those what were they? Puffball holder lookalikes. Just kind of floated through the dungeon and you smack them and then the spores get everywhere. So at least they're better than that. Benevolent creatures that drifted through the Underdark. Trust a FLUMPH. X, the Mystic's first rule of dungeon survival. Wait, we've loaded the page. What's the problem here? Just looking at the 5th edition. Aberration, lawful goods. Challenge rating 1/8. They fly. They have dark vision. They're active at night. They're carnivores of psionic energy, and they live about 20 years. Stay. Stay. They float about half a foot above the ground. By means of an innate anti-gravity